You're listening to Hashtag No Filter with Zack Peter. That's me, your naturally platinum blonde pop culture connoisseur. I'm the reality TV junkie, self-improvement addict, and host with only the hottest tea spilled fresh weekly. For more hot takes, go and give me a follow at Just Plain Zack on all of the social medias. I always keep it funny and I always keep it cute. And if you're like me, then you're going to want to stay up to date with the latest reality TV tea. So go and give the show a follow at No Filter with Zack, or just join our private Facebook group by clicking that link in the description below. I'm so excited because it's actually been 4 years since I've had today's guest back on my show. He knew me before I was naturally platinum blonde. He's the host with The Most, interviewing some of the biggest celebs from Oprah to J-Lo to Denzel to Chris Evans. You know, we love us some Chris Evans, especially when he's leaking some nutty photos. But today's guest always keeps it clean, probably because he doesn't want to give his seniors a heart attack. His voice is practically iconic. And according to Twitter, he's in a not-so-platonic relationship with Caesars. Please welcome the narrator of Love Island, Mr. Matthew Hoffman.
Hi, Zack. Best intro ever?
How are you?
I am so good, friend. It's nice to see you. It's been a while since we've run into each other in person. But yeah, I'm
at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, at Trader Joe's. Although you had a Pinkberry date, I believe, if history is if I'm remembering this correctly.
I did. I remember it was right before I had to go to Pinkberry.
Yeah, I was jealous. I was like, "Oh, pick me up a medium with some mochi, please. Thank you." How are you?
Good. I mean, I feel like but our worlds have changed so much in the past 4 years.
Yeah, it's been a crazy, wild ride. 100%. Yeah, it's been insane.
So I have so many questions for you, but before we dive deep into it, you have to answer my icebreakers. Are you ready?
Oh, okay.
Okay, first one. Where did you grow up, and what part of the world are you currently living in right now?
I grew up in Long Island, New York, which is 40 minutes door to door from Manhattan. Could you bust? And I am in Los Angeles.
I love it. Are you?
Yes.
But are you taping? Do you tape Love Island from Los Angeles, or were you in Vegas when that was
taped? We taped this season from LA. Ariel was in Vegas, obviously with the Islanders, and then I was with post production in Los Angeles.
What's one word your mother would use to describe you?
Oh my God. I'll give like 1.5. A lot. And she's not wrong.
No, but that's how you're over here interviewing Oprah and hosting Love Island.
Sure. But yeah, I think I'm a lot.
Give me a fun fact. What's one thing people would not expect from Mr. Matthew Hoffman, from what we see of you online and on TV?
Oh gosh, you know what? I mean, to be honest, like I'm pretty much like, I think what you see is what you get, for better or for worse. So I don't think there's any like secrets. I'm obsessed with like real estate and interior design. Many people know that about me, but I'm like obsessed. So that's a fun fact. But yeah.
I mean, it's a fact. I don't know how fun it is.
Debatable. Voters, can we do a poll?
We can do an Instagram poll. What is your drink of choice?
You asked. I'm just telling you.
You're right. What is your drink of choice?
Drink of choice. Ooh, I'm boring in this. I'm a Bubbles for Troubles. I'm champagne, 100%, 10 out of 10. I can't do hard liquor. I don't like the way it tastes, and it's sloppy for me. So champagne is like, so embarrassing. It just hit me how embarrassing that choice is. But it's for me, it's like there's no surprises. You know what a glass is. You know what 2 glasses is. You know what your morning will be with 5. Like it's always the same. So I'm a champagne boy.
That's fair. Are you like a Barefoot Champagne, or are you like a Veuve Clicquot?
How dare you? How dare you? No, I'm the good stuff. I'm the good stuff because it changes the morning, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, you should only be drinking Barefoot when you're like 19 in college, or not 19, but like 21 in college, and like you're trying to have mimosas the next morning because you want to feel fancy.
I'm not knocking it. I've never tried it, to be honest.
I don't think I've ever
tried to the goods, and I never veered or Ubered.
Last icebreaker question, which is my favorite to ask. If you had to be reincarnated
Oh.
as a Kardashian,
Oh.
which one would it be? And don't give me the, okay, good. Because I was like, don't give me the bullshit answer that people are like, I don't know the Kardashians. I don't watch the show.
I'm a Chloe, and also because this is real. Well, I have a couple. Okay, so I'm definitely a Chloe because why not? Obviously, but then also she just tweeted yesterday that she just started watching Love Island. So that literally to me was the cherry on top of the like Kardashian cake. But I go way back with Kim. I interviewed Kim like I want to say like almost a decade ago, and we had a really fun interview before all of the madness. And she was so lovely then, and she's lovely now whenever I run into her. But I love all of them, to be honest. So yeah, but I like spirit animal wise, I'm a Chloe, and the fact that she's into Love Island makes me even more obsessed and like hurts my head a little bit.
Do you have a Kardashian that you would love to like interview?
All of them, to be honest. I think now that the show's coming off the air, I would love to get in there and like see what the next steps are for all of them. And yeah, I mean, when I interviewed Kim, I had so long with her. I remember we had like an afternoon and it was insane. And she was so fun. We did these bits, you know, I was bit heavy back then, and she played along with all of them, and they're very fun. And they're a fun interview. So yeah, I would, I honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, like I would not mind like a sit down with Chris. Wouldn't mind it. Like, I think that's like going straight to the source. And I think in my head, like in real life, we'd be best friends. So yeah, I would not mind that.
Are you still doing hosting for Regal?
Yeah, so I am very lucky. I do all of their celebrity interviews. I am the voice of Love Island and the face of Regal. So I don't know who gets the shorter end of the stick, but it's fun. I am the luckiest, and yeah, it's been a wild ride. I've been doing that for like, I want to say 6 or 7 years. 6 years, I want to say.
Wow.
Yeah, going on 6 years. Yeah, and I have interviewed them all. I have met them all.
What would you say was your juiciest interview?
Oh man, I don't know about juicy so much because it's through a very specific lens. So it's I don't know if juicy is the right word. I will have to say that my favorite interviews have always been Jeff Goldblum. He is amazing. Chris Evans, you had mentioned, I got to gift him. I do like gifts for my celebrity guests, and I got to gift him this ridiculous Knives Out sweater, which was like pretty iconic. It went everywhere. And then I got a message from Toni Collette that she wanted one, so then I had to make one for her. And I was like, what is happening? Like, what is my life right now? I'm like this like celebrity sweater factory. But yeah, he was great. And Oprah, nothing will ever get better than having Oprah screen your name in proper lighting. To me, that was like, oh, we're done. Like this is as good as it gets.
I love it. How are the seniors doing? So last time you were on my show, you were talking about Tuesdays with Matthew, which is where you do reenactments of classic films at a senior citizens home. How are they doing? Are they watching Love Island?
They are watching Love Island, which is so funny. So obviously the pandemic, I volunteer every week. I have been volunteering every single week since 2012. When the pandemic happened, unfortunately, I could not go to the center in person, which is really, really sad because the whole reason why I do what I do is to combat social isolation for seniors, and the fact that they can't go there and it forces seniors to now be homebound is devastating. With that said, since March, I've been calling my seniors every single week during the time that we have our class time. So I still get to connect with them. I still get to talk to them. Throughout the pandemic, Tuesdays with Matthew, we've raised about $14,000 to $15,000 for Meals on Wheels, which has provided like thousands of meals for homebound seniors. So I feel really good about that. I feel out of control in the sense that obviously I can't go there in person. I can't do what it is that we do that is, loved by so many. So the fact that I can do that on the Meals on Wheels side makes me really happy. But yeah, I talk to them every single week. I let them all know. I was like, hi, I'm going to Love Islandville. I will be out of commission for a little bit, but I actually called a lot of them yesterday. It was my first, we're a couple days post finale. So I got to catch up, and every single one I talked to watched Love Island. I had a lot of explaining to do, but it was pretty funny. And yeah, it was fun, and I messaged with them throughout the run, and I know that some were watching, so it was just a really nice moment, I guess, that it's fun. It's very funny. It's surreal.
Do you think we'll ever get a Love Island reenactment with them?
I don't think so, Zach. I think I'm gonna stick to what I do, and I think we'll separate the two is the goal.
That would be fun to watch them like battling it out for love, though.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. A lot of them are madly in love. A lot of them are single and dating. You know, it's like it's a whole different island. Yes.
So let's talk about Love Island. This is your second season as the narrator on the show. It was taped in Vegas. We just saw the finale. So spoiler, the winners were Caleb and Justine. Congrats to them.
So cool, huh?
Yes. I was so excited. They just are like such a cute, fun, like couple that I just like want to have a sandwich with.
Exactly that. I am obsessed with them. I've been obsessed with them, as I am obsessed with all the Islanders for different reasons. When you're in the show, like the narrator, like, and you watch it the way that I watch it, and you write the way that I watch it, you fall in love with everybody in different, for different reasons. And for them, I just thought that their love was so natural, and they were so calm, and they were so cool, and they were like everyone you would want to like hang out with, or like you said, get a sandwich with. Like, I've asked them point blank, I said, can I officiate this wedding? A. B, after that, can you adopt me? Let's make this forever. I'm just obsessed with them. And I just think individually too, you know, as you have a couple, and the couple is one thing together, but individually, they're both great. So they bring such great stuff to the table, like for their own couple. And I just love them.
Okay, if you had to be quarantined for a month with Caleb and Justine or Zack and Elizabeth from season 1, which one would you have to live with?
Well, here's the deal. I think of all of the Islanders season 1 and season 2. I talked to a lot of the Islanders from season 1 throughout the year. And season 2, I'm about to get into like, hey, I'm alive. I'm a real person. Let's talk. But I think of all of them, and this is going to sound weird, but as my children. So like, unlike my parents, I don't pick favorites. So I could not pick a couple to do that with. I would say both for different reasons.
Okay, halfway through this most recent season, who was your money on? Who were you rooting for to win? Because you got to really see all of it more than we did as viewers.
No, that's where you're wrong. I only see what the viewer sees. So, and I'm adamant about that. So like, I don't think that I can speak for like everybody on the couch. Like, my whole goal with the narrator is to be your best friend watching this show and say what you're thinking in a way that's unexpected, but you're like, oh my God, yes, of course. So to do that, I am very adamant that I don't want to know anything that the viewer doesn't know. So like, I think it would color my role if I knew that what did make into the show, and I knew something more than you guys do. So I literally only know what you guys know. So with that said, I learned from season 1 that going into Love Island, like when you first meet people and when you first meet the couples and you're like a week in, 2 weeks in, everything changes. So like, what you think, like even just from their packages, like, oh, like I'm Moira, I'm Calvin, you know, like what your perception is of them totally changes. So I don't put money on anything because it's completely, it just never works. It always changes.
Were you surprised with the end result? Because we always make predictions on who we think is going to win.
I don't think I was surprised. I don't think I was surprised with the end result, because I think that like America was pretty tuned into the fact like everyone has their favorites, right? So like everyone has, you can see it on Twitter. Like there's so many different camps that people go into. But I think that they were, I think America got it. I think they got it. So I was not surprised.
Were you surprised with the reception from the show after the first season? Like, what did you think when you got the call and you're like, okay, I'm going to be narrating Love Island? Because, like, look, we're in the same industry, and there's times where I'm like, okay, I got this gig. Like, let's see if it goes anywhere. I'm not going to get my hopes up. Or then there are times when I have gotten my hopes up, and then in the end, it's like, oh, well, that didn't really do much. Like, what were you thinking going into this project?
It was so insane. It was so insane. I was invited to audition by an executive who thought that I would be perfect for it. And at that time, I was like, okay, send the sides. Here we go. Like you said, another audition I will not get, like all of that stuff. And then I got the sides literally the next day, and I read it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. And then I had heard of Love Island. I had never seen it before. So then I watched the show, and I did the Love Island deep dive because it's the most addicting thing on earth. So like, you're like, I'll watch one episode, and one episode turns into like 9 days, and you're like completely, like your life is taken over.
Full binge.
And then I Googled the show, obviously, and all of this stuff. And when I was preparing to audition, it hit me. I was like, I will never get this. This is a phenomenon. It's too big. It will go to every celebrity in town, anyone with an iconic voice. Like, that's it. Like, I will never get it. So with that mentality, I was like, because I'm not going to get it, I'm not going to die on my own sword. And basically, I rewrote the whole audition into my voice. So I kind of took their lines or what they had from, I think it was the UK's version, and I kind of redid everything. But then I kind of set myself up for a big project because every line that we had to say for the audition, they had given us 3 acts, and every line had to fit in the visual, much like my job is, in LA or in Fiji. It has to fit in what they've given you. So like, you can be as funny as you want, but if it doesn't fit in the 17 seconds or the 30 seconds, I mean, season 1 in Fiji, we would be in the booth sometimes with a stopwatch. Like, that is how tight the whole thing has to work together. So when I rewrote everything, I thought it was really cool. And then I was like, oh my God, everything has to fit. Like, I'm so screwed. So I went to a recording studio and basically had them with a stopwatch time out every single line that I did to make sure it fit. And then I sent everything in, and basically I didn't hear for 8 months. And I heard nothing. And then one day I got the call driving from the president being like, you are basically the official voice of Love Island USA.
How exciting.
It was exciting. It was so crazy because, 8 months go by, you don't even remember it. You don't even think about it.
You have so many other auditions and projects and other things that kind of penetrate
no
your
meeting
sphere.
In between, nothing. It was kind of this just like offer. And it was insane. It was just absolutely insane. There was a lot of ugly crying happening, and then weeks later, I was in Fiji.
I love it.
Yeah. So with that said, I guess to answer your question, it's like, you always think, but you always think like, oh, will this be it? Oh, will this go? But with the show, we were going into a very, very, very successful franchise. So I knew that it was a thing and we had a shot.
Mm-hmm. What has the response been from, like, do people recognize you on the street now when you're talking?
It's so crazy. I never, ever, ever thought of myself as having a distinctive voice ever. I was never in the voiceover department in my agency. Like, I'm an on-camera, like you, I'm a personality. I'm an on-camera host. Like, that's what I do. My very first voiceover ever was doing promos at CBS. And I was like, I'm getting fired. Today I am getting fired. Like, it's over. Like, and then we wrapped season 1, and I had come back to the States, and I had gone to a different job that I had to do. And I was interviewing Keke Palmer for the movie Hustlers. Mm-hmm. And I walked into the room, and she literally was like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. And this was days after Fiji, like 3 or 4 days when I had gotten back. I was like so jet lagged. I was like, oh my God, here we go. And she's like, it's so good to see you. I was like, hi, how are you? I've never met you. I Google everyone within an inch of their lives. I'm like, I don't know your agents. I don't know your PR. We have no mutual friends, like all of that stuff. And in my head, I was thinking, I was like, does she do this for everybody? Like how exhausting, like to do that, you know? And I sat down, I said one line about the movie, and she literally was like, oh my God, like you're Love Island. And I got so embarrassed, Zach. I was like bright red. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so crazy. And it came out in the wash that she was obsessed with the show. She loved the show, and basically thought we were best friends. And it was so funny. And then from that moment, I thought, oh my God, I have something, because I was 4 days back into the States, and I was like, people recognize my voice. And then I went to Starbucks and I was like, tonight I will have a latte. And they were like, ma'am, if you can just calm down, that would be great. But yeah, it's pretty funny. It's an unexpected thing that I did not expect going into this.
I love that. So give me the deets on your relationship with Ariel, because I'm obsessed with her and Matt, and like I want to be in a sandwich hug with them.
As you should be. They are the best. Ariel is unbelievable. She is the best work wife a boy could have. You know, we are in different locations, and our schedules, even when we're on this in the same location, when we're in Fiji, our schedules are polar opposite. So when she's working, I'm sleeping, and vice versa. So it's pretty crazy, but you know, we are pretty close. You know, we're doing daily texts. Obviously, she was in Vegas this run. I was in LA this run, but we keep in touch throughout the run, obviously, because nobody gets it unless you're in it. You know what I'm saying? And she's just the best. I consider her a dear friend, and I love her so much. And I love her.
Well, people seem to really, especially people on Twitter, really love your relationship with Caesars. How are you guys doing?
It is a flawless relationship, Zach. It is the best relationship I've ever been in, might I say. Yeah, people are obsessed with it. It's so funny to me that you know, to in this day and age, to do brand integration the way that we did and have this cult following is kind of amazing. It's another Love Island surprise,
but that is like influencer job security for you. The fact that you can cultivate such an audience on Twitter that literally feed tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet about your promotions.
Yeah, it is.
Caesars must be very happy with you.
I believe they are very happy. I am thrilled. First of all, like, it's the only hotel I ever stayed at in Vegas ever. I have so many photos of me in Caesars, like pre-Love Island, pre-anything. So the fact that like this actually happened, I'm like, this was meant to be. Like, this is insane. And I always said, you know, going into season 2, before I knew we had to do any Caesars promotion whatsoever, I said it publicly, that I was recording the show. The narrator was recording the show from Celine Dion's abandoned dressing room at Caesars. Like that was my goal. Everyone's like, where are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm in Celine's dressing room. Like that was my, you know, kind of backstory for the narrator. So this whole relationship has just been such a blessing, and to do it in such a fun Matthew way, you know, like the leash has been so long. Obviously, if you watch the promos, you're like, what are they going to do next? What is he talking about? Why is he insane? So it's, you know, to have that, to have a brand that pre-Love Island I love so much, and then to be actually able to do it, and then to do it in your own way with your own stamp on it, has been such a blessing. So I am just the most grateful, and I'm so grateful that everyone loved them, as like everyone had as much fun with them as I did making them, which you cannot ask for more than that. Like you just can't.
So you probably might not be able to answer this too much, but you know, my listeners and I love the tea. Do you have any response to some of the Twitter sphere talking about Johnny potentially being engaged right before coming on the show?
That is not a question for me. I have no idea. I can't even speculate on it. I have no idea.
You know, Twitter always has to speculate and ask all the
letting your
questions.
audience down. I know they want the dirt. They want the juice. I am the Sahara. I have no juice. I am like parched. Okay. I have nothing. I can't even speak to it. I have no idea.
Did you have a response to Twitter's expose of Noah and some videos that he may have done online and some unique yoga poses?
Not a question for me, unfortunately. I can't speak to it. I'm so sorry.
Well, I'll let Twitter continue to dissect and beat that dead horse. Did you have any, like, do you get to get close with any of the cast members like after the show, where you guys kind of like keep up with each other, and like do you slide into any of their DMs?
Yeah, I season 1
who are like your besties at the moment?
Yeah, well, it's funny. We did season 1. I traveled with Alexandra, and I traveled with Elizabeth separately. We did meet and greets. So that was really, really, really cool, because I had met them on the finale during Fiji. So I only meet everybody when they get voted off, or, when it's finale night.
Yeah.
So I got to meet them finale night, and then we all kept in touch, throughout post finale into the year. But then we got to travel together. So you're talking a couple days with somebody, and it was just the coolest. Those girls are literally the best.
Do they get to hear you when they
No. So
the first
to introduce myself, they have no idea who I am. And then I'm like, so I'm the guy who does that thing that you don't hear. And they're like, okay, cool, like whatever. And then they all watch the show back, and they're like, either how dare you, or B, I love you. I remember season 1, I got a DM. It was a video DM from Cashel, who I'm obsessed with.
Oh, I love Cashel.
Love him. And he sent me a video. He was watching the show back, and it was this video being like, Matthew, and basically just like reading me for like the reads that I was giving him on television. And it was so funny.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really, it's a very weird thing, but it's the funniest.
I love it, and I love listening to you. And Cashel's one of my favorites. He's done this show a couple of times now. And Cashel, I always get him to spill the tea with me. He's so much fun to follow on Instagram.
I think he has more tea than I do.
Probably. I mean, he's spilled some pretty good tea for me, not about the show, but about like life after the show, which is really like what I like to get people on. Will we be getting a reunion?
I hope so. I mean, we did one last year. We did one, I think we did one in like October of last year. Obviously with the pandemic, who knows? That was obviously in person, and it was like a whole thing. It was the most fun. But I hope so. I know nothing more than just my own dreams and wishes.
I would love, do you wish you had more of like the Bachelor style reunions, where it's like you kind of bring everybody together and like really dissect, everything that's happened? It's like they're like so dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think what's lovely about Love Island is that it gets tied up in this nice little bow, right? Yeah. It's like, it is what it is, and it's aware of what it is, and it's this frothy, fun, not so much. I mean, there's drama. Hello, who are we kidding? But it's not. We're not built on that. You know, like we're really through the lens of love, and I think that it's really fun that like the viewer and myself are very satisfied at the end of it, right? Like you're not pining for more. Every question was answered. Everybody, so I love that about us. Yeah, I don't know how much more, I think it would be a fun reunion show to like talk about the highs and the lows of it, but I don't think you would be getting more unanswered stuff.
Yeah. Would you ever switch roles and ever compete on a show like Love Island?
Zach, no, I would do no such thing. That's why I love these Islanders so much, is because the vulnerability, right? Like can you imagine, there is not a financial price that you would say, hey, Matthew, here's your bathing suit, go on national TV, wear nothing but that. And, talk about it. I literally, I have such respect for them. Like I could not do that. I don't think I could do it.
I would do just about like anything. I'm just like batshit crazy like that.
Yeah, I think I'm too self-aware. I think I'm too self-aware, and I think that it would, and also like I am what I am. Like I feel like I'm an open book too, so I don't know how much like games I could play. I think I would just be like, yeah, you know, like I have no game, so I have no game in real life. I don't know if I'd have game on in a game.
I love it. Well, I love Love Island. I love you. I love that we got to catch up after so many years. I mean, aside from like, you know, the peanut butter island hole at Trader Joe's.
We both look younger now, so I mean,
we do. I mean, you can say it's possibly the ring light or the zoom filter.
Ring light? I'm in my driveway. I have 10 cars facing me with their lights on. Are you kidding me? I don't play the ring light game. No.
Oh my God, I love it. Matthew, where can people follow you? Where can they check out your videos with the senior citizens? Where can they watch your interviews for Regal? Pimp yourself out.
Yes, on Instagram at MatthewHoffman.tv, on Twitter at MatthewHoffman1. Everything is there.
I love it. I love it. I love it. If there's a season 3 of Love Island, can we catch you on it?
I hope so. I hope so.
I feel like we can't let you go. We're already in love. We're already obsessed with your voice.
Yeah, you're stuck with me, I think.
Well, thank you, Matthew. Thank you guys for
so much. I have to say, you were the sweetest, and it's been such an honor to be invited back. I thought the first one was a mistake. Like, yeah, sure, we'll have him, but now I feel like I'm in the no filter universe. So
yes,
thank you so much.
And thank you for calling me sweet, because I know I always like to keep a little spicy sometimes too. I'm like a Sour Patch Kid.
It's done through love, and then you can't. There you go.
I'm just a Love Island all in of myself. All right. Thank you guys for listening to #NoFilter with Zack Peter. You can give me a follow at Just Plain Zack. Follow the show at No Filter with Zack and join our Facebook group. The link is in the description below. Lots more tea to come. Be sure to follow Matthew. And if there is a 3rd season of Love Island, you're going to need to watch it. We can watch the first 2 on demand right now, can't we?
Yeah, 1 and 2 are on CBS All Access. So get into it. It will help you throughout quarantine. I promise.
There you go. Go watch it, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.